Hi everyone. Welcome to week 15 of our Comp 2 class. This is the final week of the semester. You will be working on your Writing Project 4 essay and preparing that work for submission during finals week. To prepare for that assignment, you will engage your peers in a discussion about what you have learned throughout this course. This discussion board is a place to discuss areas of confusion, strengths and weaknesses, and online learning. As this may be the last required English class many of you will need to take, depending on your program, there is a good chance you won't have English teachers asking you questions about your writing process or giving you chances to rework your ideas. The Writing Project 4 questions are a good way to finish developing your writing style and method and give you one more opportunity to assess your strengths and weaknesses. Use Writing Project 4 to wrap up anything related to your writing and the social issue or issues that you have researched for the better part of 4 months now. Task 1, we have a reading for you in the Norton Field Guide. It is chapter 21 on reflections. That should help you with Writing Project 4. Task 2 is posting to the discussion board. Your first post is due by 11:59 on Thursday. For this post, I'd like you to write a brief summary of how you did this semester, talk about what your best work was, or perhaps what was just easiest for you, talk about the most challenging assignment, or perhaps, also if there's a work that you feel like you did poorly on, you could reflect on that. What were the top 2 things you learned this semester? And then also, what were your favorite and least favorite things about taking an online writing class? For your reply posts, which are due by 11:59 on Saturday, I'd like you to respond to at least 2 of your peers' posts and discuss how your experiences were similar or different from their own. Task 3 is to review the Writing Project 4 assignment sheet, which you will find here. And let me go ahead and download that, and we can take a look at that right now. All right. So as I've already said, this is a reflection on your experiences so far. This is worth 15% of your total grade and should be roughly 1,000 words. It is due at the time listed on the class calendar. Now, the first part of this is over Writing Project 1 or Writing Project 2, and it should be roughly 500 words. Thinking back on either your first or second writing project, or both if you would like to write about both, I'd like you to write a narrative that places the reader in the moment with you as you find success or failure in your writing. This should be like the narrative sections you drafted for your first writing project. Your narrative should include details of your surroundings, your interactions with people or with objects, and the things that were going through your head at the time. The person reading this should feel as if they are there with you as you are going through the writing process of your first and or second writing project. And what you're trying to do here is pinpoint what led you to success or failure in one or both of those 2 assignments. Now, part 2 is an overall course reflection, which should also be about 500 words. Keeping the lessons learned from your earlier work in mind, I'd like you to write a reflection, not a narrative, that examines how the lessons were applied or not to Writing Project 3. So essentially, you're thinking of like what lessons did you learn from writing the first couple of writing projects, and then reflecting on how you applied those to the third writing project. I'd like you to discuss the changes you made in your writing process this semester, things that you feel helped you, feel more confident or more prepared for writing Project 3. If for some reason you didn't feel prepared for writing Project 3, discuss what you would have done, what you could have done differently to better prepare for that research essay. Next, discuss the biggest lesson you learned about your writing and how you learned it. And how will that lesson serve you moving forward to classes that require other major essays, but may offer little guidance about the writing? There's a very good chance that other classes that you take in the future will not give you the kind of guidance that your English classes have. So it's good to think about how you can take the lessons that you've learned in this class and apply them to future situations. Then discuss what changes you would make if you could rewind the course to the beginning of the semester and start again. How could you improve on the work you completed this semester with one more chance? Discuss one source you use in your Writing Project 3 essay that was especially powerful to you, and integrate a quote from that source into your final exam essay, along with all necessary in-text citations and a works cited page. So that's the last thing you need to do. Just some source that stood out to you, something that you found especially useful for Writing Project 3. Um, Briefly discuss that source, and be sure to include some interesting or insightful quote from that resource. And again, here are some of the finer details of this project. Task 4 is doing some pre-writing. For this, you're free to choose any techniques that work best for you. But you're going to need to include some sort of pre-writing, some sort of outline, and begin a rough draft. So we've gone over, and you've probably read about various pre-writing techniques. You all have made at least one outline. So feel free to take the approach that you want to, but make sure to have some sort of pre-writing, and outline, and the beginnings of a rough draft. Your rough draft should be roughly 500 to 750 words or more. It can be a complete draft if you want to, but minimum 500 words. And at the end of this week, you are going to submit the writing that you completed for task 4, the pre-writing, outlining, and drafting. That is all for this week. This may also be my last video. There probably won't be a need for me to make a video during finals week. So if that is the case, I wish you all, good luck on your finals. It was a pleasure working with you. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out. I'd be more than happy to help you. I also say that at the time of this recording, I have just started grading Writing Project 3. I'm going to try to get those back to you as soon as I can.